Moving on to circuit then, this is perhaps one of the most exciting compact bits of kit I've played with in recent years, which packs a serious amount of features into a small and portable device. It also has a pretty extensive range of sounds, boasting 2 Novation synth engines for making basses and leads, in addition to its synthesized drums. Instead of talking about it though, let's have a listen. I'll start with the drums, which are selected with the last 4 buttons. The first 2 orange ones are the kick and snare, so I can hit either of those in note mode to step sequence something in. To change the drum sounds, I just hold Shift and their select buttons, after which there are 16 kicks on the upper 2 rows and 16 snares on the bottom ones to choose from. Moving on to the cymbals, I'll program in a closed hat pattern. And I can also edit levels of steps in velocity mode by holding a step and then setting the amount at the bottom. Whilst the macros above control drum parameters like decay time, pitch, distortion, and so on. Maybe I'll add a second cymbal too, making it a ride this time. And on the effects front, there's a reverb and delay to choose from, with 16 delay presets and 8 reverb ones. Clicking the preset then enters that edit mode, after which the dials above are like send dials for the effects for each of Circuit's onboard sounds. So I can add some room reverb to some of the drums now. Mixer mode allows sounds to be muted and their levels changed above. And in all modes, the brightness and colour of the LED on each dial helps indicate the function and level. So now, let's see how the synth engines sound. So I'll start with the first one by playing in a part this time. With the 2 synth sounds, you have all 32 pads for one sound, with MIDI notes to play at the top, and then steps to enter below. So for instance, I could just hit record, and then the first pad here to play my tonic note in the current scale to make a simple bass line. And notes can also be added to steps by holding them down and then hitting a step. So I could add some notes an octave up now by holding the first note in the upper octave and then selecting some steps below. And I can tweak the sound again using the macros to change the envelope, filter, and so on. And there's also a sidechain facility for ducking the bass when the kick sounds, which is pretty handy. And the scales section can be used to transpose synth parts too. Everything so far is just looping a single bar, but where Circuit really starts to come into its own is the pattern section, where you can choose individual or groups of patterns to loop. So I could press pads 1 to 4 in the second synth sound column to loop patterns 1 to 4 for that sound, so I can create a 4-bar loop now. To play this part in, I could change my keyboard to chromatic using scales mode if I wanted to play something with accidentals in, after which we have all the MIDI notes in 1 octave at the top. Or I could stay in key, but go into extended mode by holding Shift and Note, after which you get all 32 pads mapped to MIDI notes, with 4 octaves in our particular scale, which is currently C minor. And I can transpose all the pads up and down with the octave buttons. So let's play something in now. And that was just with the default bass and lead sounds, and you've got 2 whole banks of additional presets on board, so there's loads of scope for making all sorts of different music. Plus, it even runs on AA batteries if you want to take your jam outside. Just kicked off is our remix comp, where you have the opportunity of remixing none other than Nightmares on Wax to be in with a chance of winning Circuit for yourself, as well as some of our online courses and Loopmasters sample packs. The track being remixed is Da Feelin' from the album Thought So. As with our previous comps, you can enter via our Facebook page and post your entry on the Produce Tech forum. The comp closing date is the end of January 2016. Best of luck!